Good evening, everyone. Yate. My name is Todd Wilcox. I work for the Winslow Residential Hall. I'm the 21st Century Program Coordinator. With this program, we focus on after-school activities and academic enrichment. So here at the Residential Hall, we do provide after-school tutoring, peer tutoring for students, along with activities. Um, Related to cultural awareness, health and wellness, and college and career preparation. So this evening, I'd like to welcome Becca Alvarado and Sharon Doctor from both with Northern Arizona University. So they'll give an overview of the university from the admissions standpoint, along with information regarding the Office of Indigenous Student Services. Thank you, students, for being here this evening. I appreciate you joining us. And Becca, you have the floor. Take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Todd. And thank you to those of you who are attending today. We appreciate you making time on a Thursday evening for us. Like Todd mentioned, my name is Becca Alvarado. I manage Native American and diversity recruitment with University Admissions. And I have been serving the Winslow area as the NAU representative for going towards 4 years. So I'm always so happy to be able to connect with you all. I'd like to draw your attention to my contact information on the screen. You don't need to take it down right away. I will have it at the very end. But a little bit about me. I graduated from NAU nearly 4 years ago with my degree in psychological sciences and my minor in ethnic studies. And my favorite part about this role is that I get to work with all of you. And so I hope at one point to be connecting with you and sharing a little bit about NAU outside of this presentation. Before I dive into the material, I'd first like to share NAU's land acknowledgement. It's important for us to share this land acknowledgement and to honor the traditional and continued stewards of this land. As I'm giving this presentation from Flagstaff. NAU sits at the base of the San Francisco Peaks on homeland sacred to Native Americans throughout the region. We honor their past, present, and future generations who have lived here for millennia and will forever call this place home. So thank you for joining us again. Now I dive into NAU, and whenever I talk about NAU, I like to just share a little bit about the Flagstaff area. But I know that y'all are likely familiar. We're only about an hour drive away. With that in mind, I won't get too much into Flagstaff. Y'all know that it snows. You know that we have 4 seasons, and you know that we're at 7,000 feet. But what I'd really like to focus on is the student life and a little bit about our academics before I transition into the ways that we support our students. So our campus overall is about a mile and a half long and a half a mile wide. So it really only takes about 25 to 30 minutes to trek from south to north campus. And the entire way, you have a beautiful view of the peaks. Now, when I was thinking about coming to NAU, the biggest thing that was concerning me was how was I going to make friends? How was I going to make a connection and create a community for myself? Well, we give you the opportunity to do that right off the bat. We have over 400 clubs and organizations for you to choose from, and these are just ways for you to connect with people based off your interests, based off your faith, your culture, any sports that you like to play. And if we happen to not have the club that you're thinking about, all you need is a 4 other members besides yourself and a staff or faculty member like myself, and you can create your own organization. We also have 15 NCAA D1 teams and 35 academic All-Americans, and you get into all the on-campus games with your NAU ID at no additional charge. And so those were some of the best ways that I was spending my weekends when I was a student, was by going to women's soccer games or going to the football games at the Sky Dome on South Campus. Those were just really fun ways to connect. Now I'll talk about our academics a little bit further down in our presentation. But I really like to focus on the way that we support our students. We have quite a bit of diversity on campus, and we really celebrate our students by being inclusive and by sharing many different cultures. Now, I have Sharon Doctor with me today to share a little bit about the Office of Indigenous Student Success a little bit later, but I'd like to highlight a few of our other programs that we have. So within our campus culture, overall, we have about 46% of our undergraduate students who identify as first generation. So that means that they are the first student in their family, in their immediate family, to go out and earn a 4-year degree. And so being a trailblazer also means that you need a little bit of support. And so we have an office on campus that provides a bridge program, mentorship, and even an honor society so that you can create connections across campus. We also have our Office of Inclusion, Multicultural, and LGBTQ plus services. This office puts on a number of different cultural events to celebrate our students throughout the year that are both educational and accessible. So you can always go, even if you are not within the culture that we are celebrating, you're welcome to come and learn more about that culture and really expand your horizons that way. We also have our Disability Resources Office. And if you have an individualized education plan or a 504 plan, you can access this office and learn about our resources before you even get to campus. We also have a number of study abroad programs, and any major can study abroad. And so, if you're interested in studying abroad as a student, I highly recommend for you to look into our study abroad programs. And then we have career development services as well. And so, if you are learning how to create your resume or how to really conduct yourself during an interview, then we have our career development on campus for that support, or they can just help you search for a job while you are a student on campus. Now, a question that I often get is it required for you to live on campus as a first year student? No, it is not required for you to live on campus, but about 90% of our first year students do decide to live on campus. We have a residential based college model, which means that you get to live amongst students who are studying the same thing as you. And really, that is such a great way to start making friends early on and creating connections with people who you're going to be seeing in your classroom as well. Now, I mentioned our student life a little bit, as well as our athletic programs. And so let's switch gears into our academics. Now, I mentioned that our campus, the size of our campus overall being a mile and a half long and a half a mile wide, we have about 21,000 total undergraduate students on our campus, which actually makes us the smallest undergraduate population out of all three of the in-state institutions. But on a more national scale, we're a medium sized institution. And so if you're looking for a little bit more personalized education, smaller class sizes overall, then you're looking at the right place by checking out NAU. We have a 19 to 1 student to faculty ratio, which means that for every 19 students, we have a faculty member ready to support you as you are preparing for your future career and future path. And then our average class size is 35 students per class, approximately across the university. So with that in mind, you have plenty of ways to make connections and get supported by your faculty members. Now, when you look at our academic colleges, we have 9 overall and nearly 100 different majors for you to choose from. Some of our most popular programs are business, elementary education, we have criminology and criminal justice, and we have an applied Indigenous studies program as well, whose newest major is criminal justice in Indian country. And so, if you know that you would like to be into criminal justice and you're wanting to have that cultural approach, our Applied Indigenous Studies program offers a great opportunity for that. Psychological sciences and biomedical sciences and mechanical engineering are some of our most other popular programs. And I encourage you to check out our academic programs at nau.edu/academics. Also, I see that there's a few of you in this space right now together with us. So if you have any questions about any specific academic programs, I encourage you to put those in the chat for us. And then the big takeaway about being a research institution is that you get to get involved in research as early as your undergraduate career, as early as your sophomore year, to be exact. And so you have that opportunity to have the hands on experience and to beef up your resume as well, just in case you're going into a graduate school. Now, in order to be admitted to the university, we look at the 16 core classes. And if you were in the presentations with ASU or U of A earlier in the week, you have heard about the 16 core classes because we all use the same. Now, when you look at the core 16, you'll see that we have pretty much classes that you are taking to graduate. So we have English and math and lab science. We also look at 1 year of a social science within US or American history specifically. And then if you take a second language, which we encourage you to do because it's part of our admissions criteria, we do ask you to take the same second language. And so for instance, that'd be like Navajo 1 and Navajo 2 or Spanish 1 and Spanish 2. Now, within these 16 core classes, we create our own GPA for you. It's called an unweighted core GPA. And so it looks a little bit different than the GPA that's on your transcript. Now, if you have a 3.0 unweighted core GPA and no missing classes within the 16 core classes, you are automatically admitted to the university. If you have a 2.5 unweighted core GPA and up to 2 missing classes, then we will still consider you for admission. However, those missing classes cannot be within the same subject area, nor can they overlap in math and science. Now you'll see that we have highlighted towards the bottom left of the screen that we are a test score optional institution, and we are going to continue being test score optional. But if you have the opportunity to take your ACT or your SAT, go ahead and take it because if you're looking at other institutions, they might not be the same way. And if you decide to send in your ACT or SAT scores, we will still take them. It's not going to ever hurt you to have those test scores on file. Now, when it comes to cost of attending the university, that is something that's so important for us to be transparent about. And you can see that we have our tuition listed on the screen. We also have additional costs, and please keep in mind that these are for an entire academic year. So we're not looking semesterly, we're looking from August all the way to May. Now, when you look at these cost of attendance, you can see that we have your student fees, your housing, and your meal plan, as well as an estimate for your books and supplies. That's not a guarantee that it will cost $900. But one of the best things about cost of attendance is scholarship opportunities. And so you can see on the right of the screen that we have our Arizona Resident Merit Scholarships. And if you are a upperclassman, so if you're joining and maybe you're a junior, you may see that we have some different scholarships on the screen. And so you'll see that we have our Lumberjack Scholars Award. It is important to note that we no longer accept any retakes for this scholarship as we did in the past. This is going to be a change this upcoming year. Please note that all the other criteria are the same. So 3.5 unweighted core GPA, A's and B's in your 16 core classes, and no missing classes. And you can see it's full tuition. We also have the President's Award, which is a 3.5 unweighted core GPA. And then our newest scholarship is the Deans with Distinction Award, which is a 3.4 to a 3.49. And so that's going to be our newest award that we have for students. You look at the Deans, we have a 3.0 to a 3.39. Opportunity is a 2.9 to a 2.99. And within these scholarships, when you apply using those 16 core classes that I mentioned before, we will automatically consider you for the merit scholarships. And so I encourage you to report your best classes within the 16 core classes. And if you have any questions while you're applying to NAU, please feel free to reach out to me. That is what I am here for. I'm happy to support you in that process. Now, in order to become a lumberjack, you can see that you can apply for admission at nau.edu/apply. As we mentioned, we are test score optional. And if you need to reach out to me for the application fee waiver, my contact information is going to be on the last screen that I'm going to show you. And so I'm happy to provide that for you if you need. For financial aid, we recommend that you complete the application or the free application for federal student aid or the FAFSA as soon as you can after it opens up on October 1st. The sooner you apply, the more money you can get. And then with that in mind, you can see that we have our school code listed. If you send that in by November 15th, that is our FAFSA priority review date. That means that we will consider you for the most amount of scholarships available, and we will also get your list of scholarships and grants to you sooner than other students who wait after that November 15th date. And so that's why that's important. Now you can see we also have our honors application. One of our colleges is the Honors College. And so if you are currently taking any honors classes or dual enrollment classes, or you're just really looking for that academic rigor, you can apply to the Honors College after being admitted to NAU, having a 3.0 unweighted core GPA, and submitting a resume or a summary of involvement. And then we also have 2 prompts that we would like you to answer as well. Now, if you are a senior joining us tonight, then these are the steps that you can look forward to taking. And I encourage you, I'm going to have my Calendly, which is a virtual way that you can make appointments with me, up on the last screen. Please reach out to me so that I can support you as you are completing these next steps, because I want to make sure that you're not feeling alone while you're doing this and that you're feeling confident and able to take on these next steps in a timely manner. Now, I am going to wrap up my portion of the presentation and I will turn it over to Sharon soon. But I'd just like to invite you to visit us virtually. We have daily campus presentations Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. We also have Tuesday and Wednesday presentations at 7 p.m. And so if this time works best for you, then we can cater to that as well. That's going to be our virtual presentations that you can sign up for. We also have a number of virtual events. Although many of them have passed, this year we will have more starting at the beginning of the fall as well, including our Indigenous Visit Day that happens annually. Now, that is about my time tonight. I am so grateful for you all joining me. Again, I have my Calendly. It's calendly.com/Becca-Alvarado. I have my direct line there as well. And then I also have my email address. And so if you're wanting to get in contact with me, I welcome you to reach out. And without further ado, I'll go ahead and pass it over to Sharon.
Thank you so much, Becca, for your information presentation. I will go ahead and pull up my presentation here. There we go. All right. Yad Shay Sharon Doctor Chia Twitter Nishanto Tapahampashichin Ki Ani Dashichedo Lazafana Dashanella a good So my name is Sharon Doctor. I'm Navajo. My hometown is in Kaibito, Arizona, but I also call Flagstaff my hometown. My clans are Bitterwater, Born for Edgewater, and grandfather's clans are Tarring House and Minigo people. So I've been working here at NAU for quite a while. I've actually transferred here from a community college many, many years ago and graduated with bachelor's degrees, one in general studies, one in business management, and then my master's in counseling student affairs. So, but I've been working with this Office of Indigenous Student Success for over 20 years, I guess, since 2000. And our department is located on campus. We really focus on being student-centered, really being innovative in the ways we reach out to students, how we help students. Of course, our big role is to be an advocacy role to help students in their transition to college life at NAU, but also building community, helping students build connections with each other, with really great resources on campus, getting connected to and staying connected to their culture. Or sometimes we do have students who want to learn more about their Indigenous heritage. So we have a lot of different array of activities in the Native American Cultural Center that they are our partners as well. So part of our team members consist of our 6 Indigenous peer mentors. They are seasoned college students coming from Indigenous backgrounds. This coming new year, we will have a total of 9 peer mentors. They really serve as a support for young incoming students, first-time freshman students. And so if you're interested in coming to NAU, we really hope to assign you to one of our Indigenous peer mentors to help maybe answer some questions, transitional questions. Where do you buy books? You know, how do I use my meal plan? You know, different questions like that. So they're very, very resourceful young adults that work for us. They've also worked very hard this year to generate our social media postings with guidance from our other professional staff member, Simeona Beasley. We'd also have Andrea Sukwaptiwa, Surya Hall, and myself. So we have 4 professional staff, 6 Indigenous peer mentors, and last but not least are our 2 program assistants. They help to answer our front desk calls, greet visitors in the building, and do all sorts of projects with us as well. So we are located inside the Native American Cultural Center. And that is on across from the Klein Library. So part of the services we offer, we provide holistic, caring guidance to students, from new students, freshmen, all the way on through being a senior, including graduate students. Those are individuals who are pursuing a master's degree or a doctorate degree. And so we work with transfer students as well. And so, of course, a lot of the focus could be on classes, right? Because college classes tend to be different, a little bit different than high school. And so we really try to get you connected with tutoring services if a student needs that, provide referrals to academic advisors depending upon what they're planning to study, or their major is what it's called. We'd also offer minor programs, certificate programs in some of the colleges. The next big piece is money, right? Financial aid, scholarships. How does one pay for college? And so we definitely can meet with you one-to-one over the phone or on Zoom. We haven't quite gotten back into in-person meetings as yet. But if you have questions, I know this one's a big maybe potential worry or concern with you or your family. So definitely we can talk to you about it, share information, provide you good resources to scholarship sites. If you follow us on our social media platform, almost every week we're posting about a scholarship. Cultural, that's something that is very close to our hearts, because we know that we value our heritage, we value our family connections and relationships. And how do you balance that being a part-time or being a full-time college student? So that's something that we can provide guidance to students about. We really encourage our students to still stay in communication with their families, let them know how they're doing, you know, tell them what's like being in classes Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or how much time they're studying. But also maybe there's a chance for students to go home and visit. We know this year was a very different type of year in that we were dealing with the global pandemic. So a lot of our students tended to be in classes remote. And so we still encourage them to take care of themselves and take breaks from being on the computer. Do something, eat healthy, exercise, enjoy the outdoors. Personal, a lot of times, you know, our students are finding it, not realizing maybe that their time management skills could be a little bit better, right? Trying to manage the courses, homework, maybe getting to meet people, living away from home, right? If you are planning to live in a residential hall at the Flagstaff campus, sometimes that could be okay, and sometimes maybe it might not be. So we're here to listen. Most times, you know, in the past, we've had students visit us in our office, but like again, this year we did a lot of meetings using the Zoom platform, phone calls, sometimes emails. I've been able to meet with a few students, maintaining physical distance and wearing masks. So I've been able to do that a few times this year. And then the last but not least is the social piece. That's really finding that group of people that become maybe your close connection, your close friends, and finding out how they're doing and supporting each other through the college life, because I can tell you the years definitely fly by very, very quickly. Today we had a webpage that went live with our Indigenous convocation as virtual ceremony. And so if you go to our Facebook or Instagram, we have links to the webpage if you're interested in looking and seeing who's graduating and with what degree and their personal message. So it's really, really very rewarding to see our students work so hard despite this year of a pandemic, that they're still finished and earning their degrees. One of our programs is called the Indigenous Bridge to Success program. We've had it now for about 5 years. This coming year, we're doing it on a virtual platform. Last August, we did it virtually as well through Zoom. And we decided to have it in July. And so we have it the Tuesday, Wednesday, the last week of July this year. And this is for students who have applied to NAU, they've been admitted, and it's a free program. It's 2 days. Right now, the agenda is where we'll start at 9 a.m. on Zoom. We'll go up until noontime, take a lunch break, come back at 1 o'clock, and we'll end about 3 o'clock. And so this will be the time to meet the rest of my team, including our Indigenous peer mentors, learn about really great resources and tips for how to have a really good first year at Northern Arizona University. We have our peer mentorship program that I already mentioned to you all. A lot of our peer mentors work together to host virtual events this past year. We're crossing our fingers that we can do some in-person, maybe small events this coming year. But of course, it all depends on how things are going with the pandemic. We also provide helpful workshops. This past year, we did 3 FAFSA workshops, and we partnered with our colleague at Educational Opportunity Center, Terry Beeson, to help students with completing their FAFSA. And so that's some of the workshops that we've done. A lot of different virtual events, like I mentioned. Again, some of them, if you see our Instagram, our Facebook, you'll see our past posts of these events. And here is our contact information. You can call us, check us out on our webpage. You can email us at issnatives, and there's our Instagram and Facebook account name. So, be sure to keep up with us. We also, if you need to reach out to us, you're more than welcome to call me or email me. But again, stay in contact if you're interested in coming to NAU. We love to have you as part of our community, and look forward to working with you if you decide to come here. We're very close. I think a lot of our Indigenous students choose NAU because they might not have so much travel time if their home community is up here in Northern Arizona. So we do have all the 4 seasons, as Becca mentioned. I've been here for a long, long time, and campus is very dynamic, always changing. I know that my colleagues in the other student affairs departments are very proactive in getting our students engaged, and a lot of different fun events. So the Cultural Center, as I had mentioned earlier, they have also a team that works with students. They have their resident elder program, and they have provide a lot of really unique technological tools. They do have a computer lounge, but that's being revamped to be a future leaders lab, I believe. I'm not sure if I'm getting it right, or a futures leaders lab. But anyway, it's undergoing some changes, so it's going to look really, really nice. And so that's what I want to leave you with. Thank you so much for listening to me, and be sure to ask questions. I think if you have a notebook, if you're starting to research colleges, taking notes down, who did you talk with, checking out their websites, those, and taking opportunities for free virtual tours or if you happen to be in the area, come drive through campus. And so, but our doors are open to you. Just call us and let us know if you're in the area. And so thank you so much.
All right, well, thank you again, everyone, for being here this evening. Thank you, Becca, Alvarado, and Sharon Doctor. Yeah, thank you for being here and sharing your information about your school and the many resources and opportunities and the support. You know, I genuinely feel like you can sense it, you know, from this university. So I think it makes it very unique in that sense, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And our students, I appreciate you for being here. This closes out our first ever Tri-University Week. We'll continue to do these presentations and offer these for you throughout the rest of the school year. All right. Thank you all. Have a good evening.